again to Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler of LSF Capital right here in South Florida. I'm Spike Spengel. Len, it is always good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
Doing great, Spike. You too. Love doing our shows together. We have a great time doing these, and hopefully we're really helping some folks out there. That's our whole point, right?
Well, come on. You love being in front of people. You guys do your live events.
We do, yeah.
You've done it everything from the classic car museum to wonderful restaurants. You get all kinds of questions from folks.
We're getting ready to do a yacht cruise, dinner yacht cruise. That's going to be cool. You want to come down?
I haven't got my ticket for that yet. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. We'll do a few minutes on stage together. We'll have a lot of fun.
We have some fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of getting in front of folks like this, I wanted to ask Len today, what are you feeling more truth at home right now? What the economists are saying about our inflation and economy, or your true costs at home, your inflation? The reason I bring that up, Len, is because the economists are saying we've given the economy a soft landing. We're doing good. We've got it down to about 3.5% inflation. But is that what's happening with costs for families?
When I do the workshops, right, that is not what I'm getting feedback, okay? Really. I mean, it's, you know, you go out, it's still Spike, and look at steak. You look at bacon, right? Bacon is unbelievable. It's like tripled what it used to be. I mean, and it's not come down. So I don't, you know, we're not buying the reality. They may sell us on this thing that it's, you know, inflation's coming down, but I got to tell you what, prices and the cost of goods are not coming down. Right.
So I think what they're talking about is the inflation rate, or the speed in which prices are going up, has come down. But that doesn't mean that the companies are going to bring their price point down. This includes everything from healthcare, automobiles, homes. These costs are there to stay. Oh, by the way, has the cost of long-term care come down?
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a big issue with of course, with our demographic folks that we're working with. Huge.
So not only with folks that you talk to at live events, how about current clients? Are they reaching out to you saying, Len, I'm not sure if our plan is still working, or I need a little bit more cash, or we need a little bit more for spending?
Yeah.
Are they concerned?
Absolutely. We do. And the good thing is, Spike, one of the things that we try to do at LSF Capital, you know, we're a boutique company. And I tell folks this, folks, we're not for everybody, okay? And that's fine. You know, we're not a big box company, okay? We're not a Raymond James or a Morgan Stanley. We like to get to know our clients. It's a relationship, right? And so, yeah, I mean, you know, we want them to come in, even when we've done a plan for them. We're now letting folks know to come in at least twice a year. Not annually, but twice a year. But we have people asking for that. Things come up, you know, in life. And we had someone not long ago came in and they had a health care issue, right? Just kind of like I did, out of nowhere with my wife, Marcia. You know, out of nowhere, gets this frontal temporal dementia thing. You know, these folks and they said, Len, what can we do? This is going to cost us. We have some insurance. Here's how much. What's this going to do to our plan? We had another lady come in, right? And her mother, she wanted to take her mother, 90-some-year-old mother, around the world on a cruise for a year, right? Now, what's that going to do to the plan? You know, and she asked, Len, where do we get the money? Do we have enough money after this cruise, right? Do I have any gaps here? But so yeah, we're having folks come in and we're doing, you know, more planning and digging down deeper for them to see if their money's going to go the distance. College, you know, we've had a number come in. I got another one going to college, Len. What's that going to do to my plan?
Right. And as we also know, by the time this show is airing, our interest rates, we've talked many times how we have expected them to come down, starting to tick downwards towards the end of the year here. We've talked about a concept, you have a commercial for it as well, called the refinancing your retirement. The interest rates on some of the tools that have been really helpful over the last couple of years, those interest rates are very likely to come down, which means the offerings in these are going to come down as well. If you still have annuities or life insurance products that are based on 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, do we have time to review those?
I'm glad you brought that up, Spike, because that's happening a lot. And in our workshops, I want folks to know that. And we have folks coming in, I mean, maybe they bought an annuity. It's not really the best annuity. They're getting 3% out of this thing. And we see it all, 1%. We see, you know, rates were down back then, right? But now they're up. And so we say, look, folks, let us come in and review those. Even if you have a surrender charge, right? Which, you know, a surrender charge, it usually goes 10, 8, 9, down to a 10-year contract, 10 years, then you have no penalties. Now, you can always take 10% out, right, of the annuities, right, without a penalty.
Of all annuities or specific ones?
No, pretty much all the annuities that we work with. You can take 10%.
That you work with, okay.
Yeah. But at any rate, where were you going with that? I just lost my train of thought.
Well, we were wondering about the refinancing them now that the rates aren't going to be there as compared to the great offerings.
As a matter of fact, some of the products now, right, that the team are working with, they have a bonus on them of 19, some of them, 12, 19%. Well, when we look at that bonus, right, we're able to pay the surrender fee and still get them into a better vehicle, right, where it's got better interest rate for them, that, as this thing goes up. And at the same time, they're making some money. So we've had folks come in. I had a guy come in not long ago, Art did, and had 6 annuities. And we were able to help him with about 3 of them. Now, the other 3, Art said, look, leave these alone, they're fine. But we had 3 of them that we could help him with, So if you have annuities out there, folks, even if they're 2 or 3 years old, like you said, come in and see us. We may be able to help you to get you in a better vehicle.
Right. I know you have an annuity analyzer as well, so you can take a look at this and kind of do a comparison. Likewise, sometimes there are no costs, sometimes there are the surrender charges. We totally understand that, but that's why the insurance companies themselves are offering what's called the bonus right now. This might not work for everybody out there, but it's worth doing a review, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, here's the thing. The concept for Americans, they totally understand refinancing their mortgage. When interest rates go down, you refinance your mortgage if you have a mortgage.
Yeah.
If you had 7% and you can get 4%, you do that. And everybody goes, oh, this is just smart math. When interest rates have gone in the opposite direction, you refinance your retirement tools, the things that are based on interest rates. So if you had a lower rate of 3 or 4% and you could possibly get 6 or 7%, it's the same thing as more. It just makes mathematical sense.
Absolutely.
I just don't think enough people are aware of it.
They're not aware of it.
Luckily, though, you are talking about it. So the refinancing and retirement, the annuity analyzer, tell folks what it's like when you call the phone number. We'll also do the portfolio review.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what we did, the income analyzer, folks, basically what that does, it takes into account, this is all part of that holistic plan, Spike, but that income analyzer takes into account what do you need? What is it that you need, the amount of money that you need in retirement? We take a look at that and say, okay, can we hit that goal? We've got to look into inflation. We got to look into taxes, big thing, right? Taxes are eating away at this. So we got to look at a lot of factors. But what it'll do is it will tell you if there are any gaps. And if there are gaps, we need to figure out how we can fill those gaps. And a lot of times we can reposition and move money just by, rebalancing things to be able to get you to cover that gap. And that's kind of what we do with that analyzer.
Excellent, excellent. And so, folks, you can see that right now down on the bottom of the screen. You can get your own income analyzer. Let's see if we can maximize a little bit more of the assets you already have. There is no cost to do the income analyzer. There is no cost for us to do the annuity analysis and find out if we can refinance your retirement with a little bit higher interest rates, possibly putting more cash into your pocket every month for you to be able to spend better in retirement. It all starts with a phone call. There are folks standing by right now. Call that phone number down here on the bottom of the screen. More Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler, my buddy, when we get back right after this.
Have you considered refinancing your retirement? When interest rates are low, you might be able to refinance your homes, your car loans, and even your credit card rates because it could help you keep more of your own money each month. But what happens when interest rates go up? It may make sense to refinance your retirement. Higher interest rates could provide income opportunities that you may not be aware of. What works for your portfolio during low interest rates may not work for you in a high interest rate environment. So don't look down at today's higher interest rates. Instead, find out if a retirement refi could work better for you. Call the number you see here or scan the QR code below to schedule your complimentary Refi Your Retirement review today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler of LSF Capital. I'm your host, Spike Spengel. I'm also your host on your radio show that we do on the weekends. And here's on Saturdays, a full hour of radio program, and it's not the same stuff we do here on television. So all different kinds of topics.
That's on WIOD.
WIOD on the weekends.
Saturday we're on at 2 o'clock, and Sunday at 1.
Yeah, full hour, folks. So if you don't get enough of us on the TV, you can hear us on the radio or your live events. So
absolutely.
At LSF Capital, right? Just lsfcapital.com. Go to the events tab. We try to update that as much as we possibly can, or otherwise call the phone number, ask us when are we doing our next live event. You can talk to Uncle Len in person. Yeah, okay, that's my kid name for you. We like to goof around and have fun, but this stuff is serious. And
absolutely.
Here's the thing, Len, you know a lot of the baby boomers. A lot of the baby boomers become your clients, and the baby boomers have amassed trillions of dollars in their own personal assets, both in liquid assets and in real estate assets. There are estimates that over in the next 30 years, anywhere from 86 to 90 trillion dollars of these assets will be transferred, well, somewhere. And that's my question to you. Where will the baby boomers' assets go? Will it go to costs? Will it go to spending? Will they be able to pass it on? What avenues can this baby boomer generation of wealth pass to?
Well, you know, actually, there's really three areas, right, that we look at. One is taxes. The other is health care, right? And then, of course, to your family. Right? You want that money to go to your family. You don't want it to go to Uncle Sam or go into probate and some judge or somebody's making the decision on where your money's going to go. So we want to make sure we do and have a good estate planning.
Okay, so three different places our money can go for these baby boomers. Let's start with that first one there, taxes. Are we talking about estate taxes, or why is there going to be so much spent on taxes for the baby boomers?
Well, first off, I'd like to say that, you know, I always ask folks this in the workshops. Folks, do you think taxes are going to go down, right? And nobody raises their hand. Folks, taxes are not going to go down. They're more likely they're going to go up. You know, we got, what, $34 trillion now,
35
Spike?
probably by the end of the year, and 36 by the beginning of next.
In debt. Can you imagine, right? And that's not even the interest on the debt, right? I mean, folks, the country is really in bad shape. So what do we keep doing? Printing money, all right? Drives up the inflation, right? That's what's been happening. But, folks, you have to understand something. This tax thing is really important, particularly for your money going the distance. Let's just talk about that, not going to your heirs yet.
Yeah.
The fact is, we had a guy come in, Spike, not long ago, right? And Art, you know, Art's our master chef, financial master chef. He'll be joining us here with a couple of our shows, right? But he's over there doing his calculations. You know, a guy comes in, he says, guys, I got $750,000. I'm excited. I've just retired. It's in my 401k. Here's the statements. Can you help? Well, Art's over there looking at the statements, you know, and you know me, I'm talking stories. You know, I always BSing with the guy. We're having fun. He's a really nice guy. And anyway, finally, Art sticks his head up over there doing his calculations. He says, sir, I hate to tell you this, but you don't have $750,000. The guy goes, well, yeah, I do. It's right there in the statement. Look. Art said, well, you have a partner. He said, I don't have any partners. He said, yeah, you do, Uncle Sam. He said, matter of fact, they want their money. They let you defer. And, folks, that's something you have to understand and why we got to look at the plan.
I know.
You may not have what you think.
Most of these baby boomers, if they've been saving in 401ks that basically started in 1978, the vast majority of at least that retirement savings is in tax deferred, which means we're going to have to start paying that as they withdraw that. And there's consequences on top of the taxes. What happens when you're withdrawing a lot? Let's say if it's $100,000 a year from your accounts and you're taking the Social Security. Do you get to keep all of the Social Security if you have high earnings? Meaning the income earnings from your investments.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the other thing folks don't understand. We ask folks, can your Social Security be taxed? A lot of people don't know and understand that it can be. And I say, folks, it can be taxed up to 85%. And they go, a lot of it, what? But it can. So that's another thing we have to be careful of, this thing called provisional income, right? Uncle Sam has a bucket, and they say everything income that you make, real estate investment, pensions, goes in this bucket. And what's amazing to me, Spike, it's our Social Security, but they're going to take half of it and put it in this bucket. And then they're going to have this formula. And if you make over $44,000, I mean, come on, that's not a whole lot of money. You're going to pay 85% on your tax. So now you got another hole that's draining out of this bucket of money that you've got, right? We got a plan for that. There are some tools that we can help with called Roth conversions. Okay. Now, what you can do is you want to get over. We have three buckets. We got the taxable bucket, the tax-deferred bucket, and then we got a tax-free bucket.
Oh, I want the tax-free bucket.
Yeah, of course. Everybody does.
I want just the tax-free bucket.
What we got to do is try to get that money as much as we can over into this tax-free bucket. There's only two things that we can do there. It's either anything Roth, right, or life insurance. Life insurance, not like you think. We flip it upside down and we build inside there. We get as little amount of insurance, death benefit, and the government lets us do this and build inside that policy. And when you take out of a life insurance, it's tax-free. So if you get into that Roth conversion, we can get you over there. By the way, folks, you can go to our website, right? We've got it up in the right-hand corner. You can go there, put in a few, things.
Oh, your retirement tax calculator. The retirement tax. This is a free tool. This is absolutely a fantastic tool. I've done it as well. I've taken my accounts because I started my career doing everything into the regular 401k. I personally, myself, your host, have switched everything over to Roth 401k as much as I can. But for a lot of our baby boomers out there that we're talking about, they haven't done that yet. So the retirement tax calculator.
That's right. Go to lsfcapital.com, lsfcapital.com, folks, and it's there. It's no charge for that, but it can really help you.
So you can type in like the estimate of what you have, what you kind of think your tax bracket, and it'll tell you. So rather than having to call your CPA, you can kind of find out what you'd have to pay in taxes, and this is in waiting. So you could pay these taxes now. So going back to what you were saying 10 minutes ago, we all think, very likely, taxes to go up because of what you were saying, our national debt. But if we pay it now, we're paying it in a lower tax bracket than what we won't know down the road?
That's correct. That's the key. The whole key is if you believe, folks, if you really believe taxes are going to go up, this is something to you look at. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, okay? We don't want to push you up into another tax bracket, but we'll make sure,
You're saying if we got $1 million account, we don't do it all at once?
Yeah, right. Well, we can do it over a 4 or 5 year period. But again, there's some things we got to be careful. It's not for everybody. It doesn't work for everybody, but it's certainly worth coming in, doing that report. It'll send you a report back, and then come in and let us review it with you. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. But you're right, taxes are on sale right now.
I think I've heard your other buddy and partner, 𝗵𝗂𝗍𝗔, once say that once we do the conversion, I think it has to be in that Roth account for at least a 5-year time. Yeah. Then when you start taking that money out, does that not count against the Social Security then? So when we were talking about that 85% provisional income, since you've already paid your taxes, it doesn't count against?
Doesn't count, no. And the other thing, again, it's tax-free, right? You don't have to pay any RMDs. Forget it. You don't have to worry about your required minimum distributions. It's 73. Again, I love this. They want their money. They're going to get their money back. You don't have to worry about it.
And that's the whole purpose of the RMD.
It's the whole purpose.
Because they say, look, we have let you save tax deferred for 3 or 4 decades. You got to pay it. But if you go ahead, pay that tax bill now, you won't have to take it out.
And by the way, that when your heirs, it's tax-free to them. Okay. It's a beautiful thing. If we can get you there, folks, it really can help a lot in your planning.
So the total tax review, first of all, you can use the tax planning tool on the website. Just go to lsfcapital.com and do the retirement tax calculator. That's a free tool. You can do that right now. In fact, don't go anywhere. Stay on there, go to the website and do that. But you can also call the phone number, get your total portfolio review, and we'll put together your written financial plan, literally, at no cost to you. We have folks standing by right now at our secure call center to schedule your appointment. Just dial that phone number. More Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler when we get back right after this.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter, the one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Safe Money with Len Strickler of LSF Capital right here in South Florida. And there's many different ways that our baby boomers can transfer the wealth that they've amassed, part of the greatest generation and the America that they've built. Trillions in dollars of assets, both in real estate and investments. But as they move on to the next realm of reality, they're going to pass those assets somehow. And you first said it can either go out to taxes if we don't plan for it well. Some things we can do a Roth conversion. Let's keep more of it, more of our own money. You also said that if we don't plan real well, it could all go out the window to healthcare. What do you mean?
Yeah, healthcare is a big one. I mean, that's, again, you know, you look at what happened to me with Marcia, right? I mean, she came down with that illness just out of nowhere. My wife of 45 years. You know, those kind of things you got to plan for, right? Do you have, I mean, we know, I believe, Spike, it's like 78% of folks that turn 65 are going to need some type of long-term care or some type of care.
In fact, they've said a couple that reaches the age of 65 together, 75% chance one of you will need long-term care. Now, here's the thing. Take what you have in savings in your mind. And if you spend close to $100,000 a year on long-term care, how quickly will you go through your nest egg? And so what we're talking about is insuring the assets that you have, hopefully using other tools that can help us leverage it. And we're not talking about trying to pitch a tool. We're literally trying to keep you with more of your assets so you don't run out on spending it on healthcare costs, right, Len?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, and some of those vehicles we can use, of course, you know, we talked about this earlier, or annuities, a properly designed annuity, right? With that long-term care rider in it could be helpful, right, to help with these costs. You know, but we do have to take a lump sum of that money and make sure that it's there, right, for those kind of emergencies in the healthcare. And we don't, you know, something is going to probably happen to it. We all know we're not getting out of here alive, right? We're all going out of this place, right? And so healthcare, I mean, you know, you look at me, Spike, you know,
picture of health.
I tell my folks in my workshops, I said, folks, when I can get up and stand up straight, it's a good day. I mean, look, I'm an airborne ranger, 2nd degree, or 6th degree black belt.
Thank you for your service. Yes.
I've got a knee replaced here. I got 2 hips replaced, right? I got another knee that's got to be, now hold on. I'm not
Len, you're the bionic financial man. You've been put together better than ever.
I've got a battery in my back, Spike. I tell this at my work. And folks, listen.
Don't forget to recharge it.
I've got a stimulator. So if I go off up here, folks, don't worry. It's okay.
Don't worry. It's okay. He'll come right back. We usually like to keep him talking about taxes. That keeps the battery going.
But anyway, healthcare. Very,
no, but
very
the thing
important.
is we're all going to be living longer and in different ways, and we want to make sure that we can cover the cost for it. And we say this a lot also at the live events. You're saying that Medicare doesn't cover all of this, doesn't take care of all of your long-term care and everything else? And in fact, when we take out money from our investments, doesn't that affect how much we pay per month in Medicare?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got a Medicare specialist in the house,
We
don't you?
Absolutely. We have a young lady, Maria, she's really good. Matter of fact, we'll be more than happy. In our workshops, we have her. She comes up and does a little, 5-minute presentation. Medicare, we're part of the NSSA. I've mentioned that before. It's the National Social Security Association. Jim Blair worked 37 years at Social Security. The guy just knows it inside and out. Mark Kleiner is his partner, who's a CPA. But we're lifetime members. So my point is that we go off to school once a year, okay? And the training is, the book for Social Security and Medicare, Spike, it's unbelievable. Each year it comes out. And it is not easy, right? Medicare is they say it's easy, but it's not. But those choices we want to help you with, right?
Yeah.
And so we can help you with. We got a gal in the house that knows this inside and out. And
as much as we all like to joke around, and you're just an honest, regular guy talking about your own health concerns, but you literally do have a team of people.
Absolutely.
It's you and I on the radio and TV. Art's going to join us in a few weeks on the TV show as well. But you've got teams of folks.
Right.
Through the Social Security support, through the Medicare support, through the investment support,
right.
the assets under management, through the healthcare and insurance products and annuity products. Teams of people.
Right.
You're the face of it because you like talking to folks.
Well, that's
you've got a lot of resources that are behind you that you get to use for all of your clients.
Absolutely, and that's important, And again, some of these plans, by the way, Spike, those plans that we do, holistic plans, are complementary. Art just had a gentleman not too long ago that shared with him what this other advisor, this other company was going to charge, $4,000, and our plan is as good or better than what they do. $4,000. We give that to folks complimentary because, folks, we really want to help you out. Look, it's your money, okay? We want to make sure that we help you plan for your money. It's not our money. I don't want you to build my retirement, because that's what's happening with some of these other companies. You're building their retirement. I want to help you build your retirement.
Absolutely. Now, with the last thing we're saying about the baby boomer generation and the trillions of assets that eventually will pass, I mean, hopefully a lot of it will pass to spouse first, and we've got to make sure beneficiaries and life insurance are in place. But the last part of it is, rather than going to health care and taxes, proper estate planning. Correct. What tools do we need to put in place to make sure this wealth that you've built stays in your family? Right.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the things that we have built, okay, with LSF Capital, if you kind of look at a circle and you look at spokes that come off of this circle, right? Again, we got a spoke. Here we are in the center, right? We do holistic planning, LS Capital right here in the center. And then we have a spoke that kind of goes off to the NSA, Social Security. We got a partner, okay? We got alliances. We have another spike that goes off to the Medicare specialist, right? And then to the AUM, you know, managed money section, the annuities, insurance section. But then we have one that goes to estate planning, an attorney. And again, this is, folks, we're not attorneys, right? And we're not CPAs, right? We do have a CPA as a co-founder of our company, and she's also a CFP, which is good news. We help. That's another spoke. Yeah. But we have a couple different folks we use, one in particular that helps us with estate planning. And so sometimes holistic. We'll bring that individual in and let them do like a 5-10 minute little presentation, right? When we have the Medicare. So at different times we'll have different folks come in from these spokes.
Different folks of different spokes.
There you go. I love it. And but anyway, I just want folks to know that it's a team effort. And we do have what we need in place to do that estate planning, because that estate planning is important. You do not want that going to the government or to some probate, and it's a mess. You'd be years getting anything to your loved ones.
So for folks to get started on their holistic plan, when they call that phone number, come on, it's sitting up in front of you. I know you want us to say it. When they call, what's going to happen? You get a copy of the book with the appointment?
Yes, absolutely. You get a copy of the book, Way of the Financial Warrior, and we'll be able to help them come in, and we get to know them. First appointment's simple, easy, and just going to get to know folks and help them.
Thanks, Len. I'll see you in the radio booth in a little bit. Folks, you can call and get started on your own written financial plan. As Len says, it is no cost to you. Our television viewers, our radio listeners, those who come to the live events, we put this plan together for you. It is no cost, but you need to call us. Bring that phone number down to the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for watching. More Let's Talk Safe Money once again next week.